Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for another episode of NCCAP's STEMinar series. Today, we are joined with Christine McDonald. Christine McDonald is passionate about creating access and removing barriers to teaching and learning computer science. Christine was a middle school VEX robotics team coach for 4 years, and her team went to Worlds each of those 4 years. She has worked with Indiana's TechPoint Foundation for Youth to train Coder Dojo champions in the computer science and hardware integration aspects of setting up and maintaining a dojo. She is a continuing member of Women in High Tech. Christine graduated magna cum laude from Vanderbilt University with a Bachelor of Engineering, Electrical Engineering, and Computer Science. She then went to earn her MBA in Corporate Strategy and Marketing from the University of Michigan. Prior to her role at Codelicious, she worked as a managing partner and founder of McDonald and Associates. She has also dedicated time to McKinsey and Company, DuPont, and the Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce. Christine is currently the co-founder and CEO of Codelicious, a provider of full-year computer science curriculum for K-12. And everyone, welcome Christine McDonald. Hi, Christine. How are you?
Hello. Thank you for having me on today. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And could you tell us more about Codelicious? How long has it been in existence, purpose, all that good stuff?
Thank you, Shanika. Yeah, of course. I'm so excited to tell our story. So the genesis of Codelicious comes from an area of passion and understanding that computer science education is a cornerstone for future-ready learning. And our mission is to support educators in their efforts to educate, enrich, and engage students and every student in their classroom. So what we have found as we have been building our product, and to your question about how long we've been in existence, we're in kind of our third year of this business model of licensing this curriculum directly to schools and districts and providers. What we find is that the educators themselves are focused on providing the best opportunities for every student in their school. And computer science coursework provides students with those skills that they need to be college and career ready, but finding the resources to research, write, update, and staff computer science classes year after year can be difficult. And so what we have found is that with computer science education as that cornerstone, that it is a strong desire that the educators be supported in their efforts to sort of educate, enrich, and engage those students. So our belief is that a computer science curriculum, which is what we emphasize and share, should provide comprehensively the resources that teachers need without adding additional requirements on their time, giving the educators the confidence to teach the computer science, and giving students those foundational skills that prepare them for whatever the future holds.
And speaking of the future, the great unknown, right? Something that you said really stuck out to me, and that was future ready learning. And I actually wrote it down because I was like, that right there, I need to keep that. But how are you all preparing and continue to serve our youth amid this pandemic with the idea of future ready learning?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, part of the challenge in this has been supporting educators in the seamless transition between in-classroom and virtual instruction. And how can we empower them to not only continue the fluidity and desire to bring these outcomes to their students, but with the resources that they need to navigate this kind of unknown environment. And so in support of the youth themselves, we have been working with educators through our curriculum to make sure that these tools and strategies for communication with students, distribution of elements of curriculum, right? So whether it's paper handouts or electronic files, just our platform supporting them in that distribution. And then the real need is in engagement. And what does that mean when you're navigating between kind of in-person and virtual, and even now, kind of a hybrid implementation of that? So we talk about synchronous and asynchronous learning, and how do we empower the educators leveraging our curriculum to keep that engagement with their students? Because students have this innate desire and hunger when it comes to computer science, there's something about it that they love. And so we took on the challenge to make sure that our educators and our curriculum had those resources that would support the educators in their outreach, in that communication, distribution, and really ultimately that engagement, so that the students are able to keep learning.
And so with that, one of the things I realized Codelicious does is that you all offer a form of professional development to your educators. And so how has that changed now that we're talking about virtual learning, now that we're talking about asynchronous and synchronous? I mean, I don't know if you've been on like social media lately and seen the parents' response. And so how are you guys equipping educators to deal with this ever-changing landscape and ensuring that the professional development is still valuable amidst all the professional development that they have access to now?
Yeah, and even more so now. So what we found in the transition is, as a district, let's say, or as an organization, they were beginning to build a framework around how they were going to communicate with their students. What did the sharing of content look like? Was it packets? Was there access that it could be delivered electronically? And then, of course, again, I get back to that third principle, which was engagement. And so as everyone transitioned, we listened to the needs of our network, and we listened to the questions they have. So once the school or the district or the entity had that infrastructure in place, then the question was, how do we use your curriculum in this infrastructure? And very quickly, we were able to integrate tips, tricks, connectivity information, and even retrain, right? So as educators who are currently using our curriculum, we would send out either email updates or get them on for kind of a 30-minute refresher. Okay, if this is the infrastructure that your district is using, here's how Codelicious leverages that in a very seamless way. And for new educators and districts that we were bringing on, we integrated that into the professional development, knowing that a confidence in the ability to seamlessly navigate that just allows the educator to, again, focus on what they want to do, which is engage and teach the student. And so when you can take that burden of the how kind of off their backs and show that we can empower them to do what they want to do in a way that for them defines kind of a quality engagement, it really takes a little bit of that sort of stress and just anxiety off of their plate. So we very quickly began to integrate the incorporation of the communication tools, the distribution tools, and the engagement, and how our curriculum supported them no matter which way they were choosing to engage with their students.
And so specifically right now what we're seeing is the craziness that is virtual learning, but we're also seeing a lot of parents, they have to go back to work, right? And we're starting to see out of school time providers and programs be those supplemental, I don't want to call it daycare, but they're there, you know, to help provide childcare during school hours. And I mean, a couple weeks ago, there was talks on Capitol Hill about the 21st Century Community Learning Centers have more flexibility so that they can basically have children, you know, learn as it'll be a virtual academy, a virtual hub where they're at school, but they're in the out of school time program. So even though your curriculum is specifically designed for in-school activities or in-school experiences, what advice do you have for out of school time program right now that's trying to implement coding, that's trying to implement Codelicious into their programming?
I love the frame of your question, because what you're painting the picture of there is a continuous learning environment, and the need for multiple entities to be engaged to help these students continue along their journey. Everything looks different now, and so the need for the instructional day, the out of school time, and all of that view to focus on that journey is what I love about the insight to your question, which is at its core, it is equally as valuable and even more in need of kind of tools and opportunities to engage students. And so from our perspective, we know that the OST programs, whether it's after school or summer enrichment, are just as focused on providing students with learning opportunities that help prepare them for the future. And so, it just takes a full village or community to empower students on their learning journey. And so we are all working together to support these 21st century learners, and getting students involved in computer science is something that has tremendous alignment and support from parents and providers. And so building those critical thinking and computational skills that are foundational to computer science is valuable to all students. So when we think of whether it's in the instructional day or in an OST setting, our curriculum empowers that engagement. We're working with a program out in Pennsylvania. It's called Coding the Coal Region. And it is an effort to make computer science more accessible to all communities, rural and remote, as well as kind of urban and suburban. And they're actually starting with our curriculum in an OST setting. So where students are signing up for kind of a full semester, if you will, at an instructional cadence. It's twice a week. They're going to be leading it virtually, but it is that first opportunity to offer a curriculum, if you will, that is not only engaging, but aligned with educational standards and outcomes, which propels the students along that learning journey. So it's fun and it's exciting, but it's more than just interest generation. There's a foundational element to this that really builds those skills along the outcomes and learning progression. And so we are huge fans of the many different modes that computer science curriculum can be leveraged to reach students. We have other districts that we've worked with who have brought our curriculum in a summer school setting. Sometimes it's very hard to determine where in an instructional day any of this fits. And so again, all of that experience, anything that allows the opportunity to be brought to students and begin their confidence in this understanding of the skills that computer science bring is amazing. And our curriculum is customized to whatever that instructional cadence looks like. So whether it's in an instructional day, in an OST setting, after school or summer school, that is the power of what we have, that in your hands you will have a curriculum which is on one hand rigorous, so you have to make sure that that's what you want to bring into the OST setting. On the other hand, fun, but knowing that it is aligned with outcomes and education standards that are either operated on in that state or nationally, whatever you're using to get there. So we are able to provide the district or the entity with that standards aligned, rigorous and extremely engaging curriculum to bring to the classroom. And so for us, whatever path is determined as the best way to kind of bring this into a student's world, our curriculum provides those resources and support to empower the instructors to build these skills, because we believe so strongly in the foundation that computer science is key to preparing the students.
Back to your future ready learning. And so it makes me think, obviously the STEMinars were founded, were created with this idea of exposing more girls and minorities into STEM. And we know that by 2025, there will be so many unfulfilled STEM jobs because, to be honest, we're just not filling the gaps within the pipeline. So how can Codelicious really begin to fill those gaps, especially for girls and minorities? You're a woman in STEM. When I was reading your bio, I said, whoa. My immediate response was like, I'm talking to a genius, and so I just, as a woman in STEM, how is Codelicious, and as the co-founder of Codelicious, how is Codelicious beginning to bridge those gaps for STEM career pathways for youth, but especially girls and minorities?
It was so foundational to me early on to see people in a role that I could see myself. And we still struggle, you hit the nail on the head, we still struggle with the growth in that field for women and minorities. But I am a firm believer in, if you can see it, you can be it. And so when we build our curriculum, we build it so that it's a project-based learning curriculum, and we have many different resources that we provide. And in those resources, we represent different imagery, different diversity, right? It's very important for me that people and students are able to see themselves. And part of that is, this sort of focus on the big D of diversity, right? So at its highest level, many people think that computer science is just coding. What I want people who run, students who go through our curriculum to see that it doesn't matter what career you're interested in. You could want to be a farmer, you could want to be a baker, you could want to be a doctor, a professional athlete, you could want to build websites, but it doesn't, whatever career that you're thinking about is empowered by computer science. And in that way, we integrate in our, into our curriculum units on different STEM careers. And so along with learning how to code, along with understanding software, we integrate in there this exposure to a wide variety of careers. So again, if you can see it, you can be it. And so really generating that, that connection, hopefully, for any young student coming through that says, oh, I didn't know, right? And making that connection. And again, as I say, for me, close to my heart, because it was so impactful on me growing up, especially for girls and minorities, to open that door, because oftentimes that filter comes in because they don't love something that they have heard about computer science. But it's way more than coding, it's way more than sitting in a basement. And we really try to sort of create that scenario of take a look at this, look at all of these careers. I bet one of them resonates with you, and guess what? It's empowered by computer science. So hang in there and set your goals high and go after it. And that's really what we try to do along the entire K-12 journey within our curriculum, which is opening those doors to be the world that these 21st century skills, that these computer science skills bring, because it truly impacts every career that they could imagine.
And thank you. I mean, thank you for your role in STEM, like in being a woman in STEM. There's not many women in STEM right now. And I'm so glad that I have stumbled upon, like you, it's been a great deal of women that I've literally just stumbled upon that's in STEM that I'm like, yes, I have to talk to them. And so my last question is, how can our viewers, anyone that's watching this right now, parent, teacher, out of school time provider, anyone that works with youth, how can they learn more about Codelicious?
Thank you for the opportunity to make a plug here. So our website is always up and running. It's codelicious.com. You can see our courses, you can see student experiences, educator experiences. We also have a blog series that we do on confidence builders. We've got some great exposés of some students and educators and industry workers. Go explore and see what kind of doors that opens for you. So that's codelicious.com. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn, and at Codelicious HQ is our handle. But equally as valuable, you can email me directly, and it's cmcdonald@codelicious.com. And I'd be happy to engage in any conversation that would come out of it. I'm such a fan of yours and the efforts. I love this idea of STEMinars. I love the name of it, and I love what you're doing here to kind of build awareness and excitement around it. So thank you for allowing me to be part of it.
And thank you everyone that has joined us.
To learn more about Codelicious, visit www.codelicious.com and check out this quick explainer video.
Codelicious provides full-year computer science curriculum that is designed to be teacher-led, education standards aligned, and includes project-based courses to engage every learning style. Our courses empower both technical and non-technical educators to teach computer science with confidence. Each full-year course is customized for your school or district by class hours and days on task, saving valuable lesson planning time. Codelicious curriculum is delivered through a learning management system where educators can access summative assessments, formative assessments, a syllabus, standards alignment map, a pacing guide, and step-by-step lesson plans. Computer science is more than just coding. Every Codelicious course is based on our 4 pillars of engagement: coding, unplugged, digital citizenship, and hardware. Each pillar includes activities that are built to engage every learning style in the classroom. This helps all students develop analytical and computational thinking, while also encouraging social-emotional learning skills through collaborative project work. With courses in programming, graphic design, and engineering, Codelicious curriculum provides educators with the resources they need to keep pace with technological advancements, ensure standards alignment, and engage every student in their classroom. Explore the available courses at codelicious.com.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this and others that we know you'll enjoy. Do you have an idea for a STEMinar or a webinar that you would love to see NCCAP cover? Well, comment below or check out our website at www.ncafterschool.org.